Welcome to another video, A Walk with Phil. And today I'm in Moxley Village. Now some of you may be asking, where is Moxley Village? Well, for those who drove through from West Bromwich through Wednesbury down the A41, you'd have hit Moxley Village, but maybe you didn't realise it was a village, because back in the day there was all shops that used to line the High Street of Moxley. But many of you will have seen the Aldi store on your right as you're making your way towards Bilston. What I'm doing today is I'm going to stop at Moxley and have a look around the industrial areas of Moxley, which means me taking a walk down Bull Lane. I would explore around there and then come back up and have a look at the residential areas. I'm in one in particular at the moment, which is called Burns Road. So I'll have a look around this particular area as well, and point out some of the interesting things that used to be in Moxley Village. It ain't nothing like it used to be, but I'll tell you why as we go and have a little bit of an explore of Moxley Village. I'm just standing here at the top of Bull Lane, as you can see, and we've got the main road ahead of me which takes you into Wednesbury town, and if we go to the left it will take you towards Bilston. So when you're coming from Wednesbury, you would pass through this village of Moxley, but I don't know much about the village at all. And as I come down Bull Lane, this is where the most industrial part of the town, of the village, once used to be. Moxley Village was formed around 1845 from land that was in Bilston, Wednesbury and Darlaston. And all over here used to be old mine shafts where all these factory units are. Well, used to be factory units, it's now called BJS two-man home delivery. You often see their vans going up and down the motorway. I believe, to my right here, this was once Wesson's ironworks or foundry. Not right, I'm not too sure if I'm correct, but Wesson's was a large factory occupying this site. Before it was Wesson's, it was called the Victoria Ironworks, and beyond that was the Albert Ironworks. Of course, just over here where this new distribution unit is now built on the site of Wesson's is called Complete Distribution and Logistics. There used to be old sand pits that were on the corner of Bull Lane. Quite a big area that this ironworks used to occupy. Now you can see it's this logistics centre. The Victorian Ironworks occupied this site in 1830, and by 1898 it was bought by Wesson's, and it was demolished in around 2011. A lot of industrial areas around here. We've got some signage here saying Moorcroft Wood. It's kind of a nature reserve now apparently, and it was on the site of Moorcroft Wood used to be Moorcroft Colliery, because all around here is like kind of mining around here. And we've got some signage here saying ahead we go to Tipton and Great Bridge. So let's follow some of that signage to see what we got down here. Beyond the Victorian Ironworks, sort of over there, in the distance running alongside the canal would have been the Albert Ironworks, as I mentioned earlier, and there was also a brickworks over there somewhere, so it was very industrial along here. And the Albert Ironworks was created by Mr. Rose in 1827. As we just pan you down there to Moorcroft Woods, which is the home of the collieries down there. And that's what happens with old collieries, where they get made into nature reserves. And here we got the Walsall Canal, part of the Birmingham Canal network, with its towpath. I think it's all still navigable. And obviously this canal was the main usage for all these ironworks that were around here, because just here were all these bungalows. Once stood the Bulls Bridge Ironworks just here, and this is known as Bulls Bridge. You can see how the canal veers to the right. Further at the top end on the left would have been the Moxley Ironworks, but that was a short-lived affair. It was created in 1830, but by 1886 it had been liquidated. So in effect we had 4 huge ironworking foundries around these parts, all bordering the canal, the Walsall Canal. But it has to be said that there's all mining around here, and many of the houses suffered subsidence over the years because of the coal shafts. Curtin Drive, and yeah, there's been a lot of demolition of properties in Moxley, I believe, because of the subsidence. And there's even a place around here called Fiery Holes, where there was always constant fires in the coal shafts. What I'm looking to do here is take a right and we go down Charnwood Close. And I'll just point out to you, as you go along Ball Lane, look, you can see the main entrance to Moorcroft Woods, just down there. This is Charnwood Close. Now, what I want to do here is just take this cut through to get to High Street, Moxley. These are mainly council-built properties along here, and we're on a bank holiday Monday. And Charnwood Close, look, has got this huge island here in the centre. Green space along the road. It's like a crescent round here, isn't it? There's a few pebble-dashed council properties here, look. If you can see here, just on this green, you can see vultures here. Well, they're crows, aren't they? But they look like vultures, don't they? Got this small roundabout here. Just standing here, just looking down where I've just come from. That's Queen Street and Castleview Road ahead. That's where I'll go. Yeah, it's very quiet here this morning. Queen Street up there. Now we're going to go Castleview Road. I can see a lot of pigeons ahead. Somebody keeps pigeons around here. Homing pigeons. Thornycroft Road. So I'm going to take this road right to the very top, and hopefully it will lead me on to High Street. Okay, so we've got Tudor Road here, just on my right. It's an out-through road. And I better pan you around as well, where I've come from. Very colourful display at this property here. I notice a few wreaths out. Windmills. Take your bloody shoes off, it's got on by the side of the door. There's Castle View close. Looks though there's a building going on here, look. Looks like there's some renovations going on with these properties. Just here where all these flats were, there used to be a pub, I believe, called the Moxley Arms. Come to the end of Castleview Road, but I'll just pan you back down there because just on the left there would have been Foundry Street. And this would have been Foundry Street as well, just where I'm standing. It's now changed to Castleview Road now, so Foundry Street has all but disappeared. And here, just where all these apartments are, used to be the Moxley Arms. Now the Moxley Arms was one of these pubs that was stood derelict for at least 10 years before they finally demolished it. The Moxley Arms has been on this site since 1840. It closed in 1998 and was demolished 2008. Residents were appalled as to how long it had been left standing in such a decrepit state. It was such an eyesore. Just over here where we've got this Chinese takeaway called Pearl City. It does look in a right old state, doesn't it, that place? But there used to be the Methodist church here with its Sunday school at the rear. Just going to take a little walk along here. And what I propose to do is I'm going to take a ride just over there down Wilkinson Road. There used to be a road along just through here called Whitmore Close, but that seems to have disappeared now. Wilkinson Road, yeah, let's go down there. If we went a little bit further down there used to be a pub on the left, I believe, called the Rose and Crown. That would have been there since 1852, and I think it was in the 1960s when it disappeared. Some down there on the left. But anyway, let's have a look down Wilkinson Road here in Moxley, because this is High Street Moxley. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a bit, but I'm just going to go around the back of this side of Moxley Village now, and this is again where there's a lot of all residential. There weren't any particular anything particular in terms of industrial along these parts, but you can see how Wilkinson Road is full of all these council properties on both sides of the road, and all very populated with cars as well, aren't they, these roads? This is as far as I'm going to go on Wilkinson Road, just pan you back where I just come from. And I'm going to take a right along Horace Partridge Road. Now someone might tell me who Horace Partridge is. He must have been an interesting person to have a road named after you. I don't know what sort of going on there on that property on the corner. Oh, bin day today, and a bank holiday Monday. And going along Horace Partridge Road, which should connect with Burns Road just up ahead. Down there is Sutton Road. All the houses look very much the same. There are some newer properties I see dotted around here and there, such as up there at the top of Sutton Road. But all these look very 1920s, don't they? 1920s, 1930s. This is quite interesting frontage, look. Nice little garden we've got going on here. Got a wishing well. A lot of stone figures. We've come to the end of Horace Partridge Road, and we're going to take a right down Burns Road. And Burns Road also continues right up the top there. But we'll go along this way. This will lead us back onto Moxley High Street. And if you just see ahead, just on the left at the top of this road there, you can see that's a row of shops. Be interested to see what kind of shops we got up here. Have a quick look back down Burns Road. There we go, look. This stretches down quite a way, doesn't it? So we've got some fields at the back. I think it used to be a heath of sorts at the back there. Something tells me there used to be a farm run by the council at the back there somewhere. And also, what I also remember was a company, I don't know if it was actually right here in Moxley Village, it was called George Ward's. They used to make flower pots. I think they was in the brickmaking business at one time. Then they began making clay flat flower pots, and then they started making these plastic ones. But I think George Ward's is long gone now. So what we got here at Roberts Close, just this section here of Burns Road, this is called Roberts Close, just here. And we've got a shuttered business, and then we've got Amma's hairdressers. Next to that we've got a Lana hair and beauty salon, and it looks like the only shop here on this block that's open currently is the Moxley Laundry, open 7 days a week. Not everybody's got a washing machine. These places are proving rather popular. They were quite popular back in the day in terms of there was a fair few of them, but you don't see many of them now, but when you do, they are well used. Another shuttered business here. That was once something, but not anymore. And there's a couple of shops here. We've got a fish and chip shop, Oceanic, and a Moxley supermarket. Here's Moxley Motors. I've always known this place to be a garage of sorts here, always selling used cars. It was just at the rear there of the garage, or just at the back of these houses. There used to be a police office. It wasn't strictly a police station. The main police station was up just down the corner, just around the back of us in Darlaston. But there used to be a couple of constables used to be stationed at the police office. We've got a large supermarket here called Aldi. This was on the sides of an old field, and well, there used to be log warehouse buildings here on the corner, Britannia buildings or something like that used to occupy this corner site. Now we've got we're back on High Street Moxley now, at the top end here now. All along there will be terrace properties with the Moxley Arms pubs that I showed you a bit further on down there. I'm just going to take a little walk along this part of the High Street, just to see what we can see. I just want to show you something here. It's called the Moxley Rope Works. Now the rope works itself has gone, but we've still got the original signage, which I'll show you in a sec. As you can see just here, look, it was more clear than that, but the sign is slowly fading. But that does say the Moxley Rope Works, and here is the vicarage, and now it's turned into flats. It's called Poplar House, but it was once a vicarage. Now let's go down this little right of way along here. This was where the rope works used to be, and it was just a long covered building that was open to the elements on one side, I believe, and the rope used to be made as it was wound around the pole but it doesn't look like we can. Doesn't look like there's anything left, except here now it's a bit of a dumping ground for furniture. The rope walk used to go through all these houses here, but it's all been covered up now. Look, you can see there's all new properties built on where the rope works once stood. But amazingly, the signage is still standing there. As you can see, there's the entrance to the rope works I've just been down, but the entrance itself was much wider. This has all been fenced off now. There's a lot of work going on behind here. You can see there was a kind of a roadway into this area, look, with its double yellow lines on the corner. So the road, this particular road has been closed off, and just ahead of me here would have been a pub called the Mulder's Arms. It had been there since 1851, and I think it was closed in the early 1970s. The Mulder's Arms at number 69 High Street, Moxley Street. Just opposite this garage behind me, there used to be the Sunday school just over here, and behind that was the Moxley High Street Methodist Church. Again, these are sort of buildings that I never remembered, and many people who would be driving from Wednesbury to Bilston, Wolverhampton way, would have come through this area many times and would have seen the enormous changes of all along here of Moxley High Street. I just try and tell you a few of the shops that used to run on both sides of this Moxley High Street, on the right and to the left. Some of you who might be aware of some of them, but there was something called Bob's Grocers. I don't know, Job's Cafe. It might be on this side of the High Street. There was Ian Wilde's Hardware. There was Sam's Vegetable Shop, Mr. Charles's Fruit and Veg Store, Bowden's Fish and Chip Shop. That was somewhere down by Moxley Arms. There was Ellis's Sweet Shop. There was Page's the Butcher's, Kitson's General Store, Barrett's Sweet Shop. There was a hairdresser's. So Broom's Newsagents as well. There was another fish and chip shop around here somewhere, and there was also Butler's Electrical Store that sold TVs and radios. So it was quite frequented with shops that sold all the useful stuff that you would expect back in the day. But of course now that's all gone. It's all been demolished. There's absolutely nothing left of all this row of terrace properties that used to be along here and the opposite side. And I'm just backtracking on myself here as I walk past the Aldi store, because here on the corner of Burns Road would just have been a post office, small post office just to be around here. And just a bit further along, actually sighting it exactly is not going to be easy to do, simply because all the road layout has changed considerably ahead of me, where we got the War Memorial just here, but there used to be a pub called here, there used to be a pub just around here, maybe where this grass verge is here, and it was called the Swan, and the Swan was an M&B pub, and it was a really old pub because it had been here since 1818, and it was demolished in 1989. So it certainly had a good run, and there was public lavatories next to it. If we look ahead here, this road, that would have been the original road into Darlaston, Moxley Road, and just over there where that scrapyard used to be, that that was Church Street, and that would run onto the famous Holyhead Road. But no, it's almost unrecognisable. Just the War Memorial is the only thing that is a constant just there. It was just a bit further on down the right. There used to be a factory called Falcon's, the Falcon Galvanisers, where they would coat long pieces of metal in zinc. I think it was called Frost and Sons, and they had been there since 1889. And yeah, but they was closed in 2002. So another famous business, industrial business, all closed now. But Church Street kind of just begins here, and this is High Street, Moxley along here. Do you know, I can't believe how cold it is today on a bank holiday Monday. Well, that was our little exploration of Moxley Village, and you can see there's absolutely nothing left of the industrial areas that once dominated this village, such as Wessons, and obviously prior to that we had all those ironworks that used to be alongside the Walsall Canal, and they've all gone now, and all the collieries have gone, and which is a good thing, of course, and we've got a really apparently quite a nice nature reserve around there these days. Around the residential parts, nothing left to speak of. I mean, all down the High Street, that's just complete desolation now. We used to have chapels and Methodist churches, Sunday schools, and all those shops that I mentioned that used to line both sides of Moxley High Street, and all the pubs as well, the Mulder's Arms, the Moxley Arms, out there, and the Swan, of course. And they've all gone. Everyone's gone. Everything's gone. There's nothing left of Moxley. So it's very easy to miss Moxley when you go through it now, because it ain't what it used to be. But anyway, if you like the video, hit the like button, and also hit subscribe and hit the notification bell for new videos, and I'll see you on the next one.